I'm going to jump to today's topic, which is AI tools and the use of AI tools in qualitative research. And I'm just a student of media and media technology, and nothing is disrupting more in the media tech space than artificial intelligence. So we are all being exposed to it for the last 2 years, I would say, almost. And we have been using them, and we have got good results, bad results, or sometimes extremely disappointing and threatening results as well. So we will try to navigate all through them while we are trying to use the AI tools for qualitative research. Now, I'll just share my screen here. Okay, is my screen visible to everyone?
Yes, we can see.
Okay, thank you. So before we go into the AI tools and the use of AI tools, we'll quickly delve into the aspects of the qualitative research, the why and the how, because this will help us to understand the why and the how of using an AI tool uh, to aid our qualitative research. So, as we all know, I mean, this is the very simple way of putting what qualitative research aims to do, or what it actually what are the attributes of it. I mean, it basically focuses on what? It basically focuses on understanding human behavior, experiences, and perceptions through non-numerical data. So we are not talking about statistics in numbers per se, but we are talking about the responses that we get from from humans, their experiences, their behavior, their perceptions, which we collect through surveys and questionnaires and interviews and all of that, and try to find correlations, themes, and that's where the qualitative part of any research comes in. So it basically explores the why and how behind a phenomena, rather than measuring them just by numbers. Just by statistics, we don't show. We are looking at the human aspect, the behavior, experience, and perceptions, and we try to understand the why and the how when you're doing a qualitative research, right? So even the attributes, when we look at them, specific attributes, this will help us to understand why and how to use an AI tool to aid in qualitative research. So the first attribute is exploratory, right? We are trying to seek or understand or uncover certain underlying motivations, beliefs, emotions, understandings, perceptions. We are trying to explore all of those from from all the responses that we get from humans, or what we are able to experience in a certain situation. That various variations can happen. So we are exploring, right? So it's exploratory. Second, it's, of course, it's non-numerical. So we are only primarily using text in the form of responses, where we can also use images, videos, and audio, instead of very statistical data and numbers that we use when we are doing quantitative kind of research patterns. And third, of course, it's subjective. Most of it, because it emphasizes on personal insights, contextual understanding. So a lot of it is subjective analysis instead of objective and pure number-based analysis. So we are looking to draw patterns, themes in the different responses that we get out of our the surveys, or the interview answers that we are able to collect. We are trying to emphasize on those personal insights. And of course, we have a flexible approach. We adapt to new findings rather than having a rigid structure or a predefined prejudice of how we are going to approach a particular research. Instead, we continuously adapt to the emerging findings of any of the responses that we collect. And of course, it's a natural setting. We do qualitative research in a very natural setting, real world environments, real people, real circumstances, focus groups, peer groups. So we are looking at a very, very real world environments. Now, how do you translate all of this in theory to the use of an artificial intelligence tool? I mean, Why do I have to use an artificial intelligence tool to understand a human behavior or human experiences or perceptions, or to find out a subjective theme, or to understand a pattern? Why do I need an AI tool to do it? And if my answer is yes, I need an AI tool to do it, the question is how. But the first question is why. Why do I need an AI tool to uncover underlying motivations, beliefs, or emotions? Do I need at all? Anyone? Do I need an AI tool to explore underlying motivations, beliefs, and emotions, to understand human experiences and behavior, to do any kind of subjective analysis of personal experiences, personal insights, or even a contextual understanding? Do I need an AI tool? That's the first question. How many of you would answer a yes, and how many of you would answer a no? That's the first question, right? I mean, the why and how of research, we know about why and how we do qualitative research. Next is AI tool and why we should be using an AI tool. Well, the answer is yes, we need to use, or we can use, we should use. There are different ways of, again, contextually putting it, because it aids. AI tools can help and aid in getting certain patterns discovered, because if we are dealing with a very large data set of interview responses that we need to do in our qualitative research, and we are trying to understand the nuances, we're trying to understand the context, we are trying to find correlations between the responses, we are trying to find specific terms that are being repeatedly used by our interviewers, people. If you are looking to find those thematic patterns in those responses, it is a huge manual task that researchers have to go through. It's a dissertation, a thesis, or whatever we are doing, that there has to be a lot of manual work if we are trying to shift through each and every line of those responses that we are collecting. We are interviewing a person, we have to transcribe it, we need to find we need to find certain correlations between a set of maybe 50 people or 100 people, whatever the sample size is, and we are trying to find patterns in the responses. Manual work, if we have to do, it's going to take a lot of time. But instead, if we are looking for a specific AI tool that helps me to do it, I would potentially use it to save time, of course, but also I need to know how do I use that tool effectively, so that the correlations, the patterns, the themes that it is able to detect is not inaccurate. That's the how of doing it. The basic tool that we all been exposed to over the past couple of years is, of course, generative AI. And ChatGPT is probably the most popular generative AI text-based tool that we have been using across various industries, including in academics, right? So do you think a tool like ChatGPT can actually help in qualitative research? Does ChatGPT help? Yes, no? Please speak out. I'm not able to see the chat screen.
Yes.
Yes, it can help in qualitative research. How have you used ChatGPT in qualitative research? You have assigned it a certain task. You have asked a certain question based on a particular, maybe a set of informations that you have collected. You have uploaded that in ChatGPT in the form of a Word document and asked for a correlation. Is that what you usually do?
I haven't yet done the correlation, but I have asked it to do certain things. For example, I'm trying to write a paper, um, and I haven't really done so much qualitative research. I've just started my PhD journey this year. So I've asked it to analyze a paper. The thing is with ChatGPT, what I found is what it does is gives us certain ways of thinking or opinions, or certain points that we might not have thought of on our own.
Okay. Anything else? Anyone else has used ChatGPT to aid in any kind of qualitative research?
Yes, I used it in
Okay.
terms of carrying out thematic analysis, where based on specific responses, interviews, within that particular model only, I regenerated certain themes and then tried to develop a correlation between the RQs and my the broader set of understanding. So this is how I used it.
You think that was helpful? Was it helpful?
Yeah, definitely, because there are certain things uh, which I was not aware about. So uh, it comes into my mind that yes, there is another perspective is there to look around that particular thick data, that human data, which is very unstructured in nature. So to understand it from different point of views through different perspective, definitely it helped me as an aid.
Exactly. Okay. So I think two people were gracious enough and brave enough to say that yes, they have used it in a certain way to find certain aids in their qualitative research. And I think we also need to break the ice or break I would say, a prejudice that is also quite relevant, that it is not wrong to use a tool like generative AI tool like ChatGPT to aid in your work. Qualitative research is a part of your work. So it is not wrong, it is not unethical to use a AI tool like a chat GPT to help in qualitative research. Let's break that, I would say, the prejudice or the stigma that's often there. But it's okay to use it, but it's you need to use it carefully. You need to know how you're using it, when you're using it, and for what purpose. So yes, the answer is definitely ChatGPT is helpful in qualitative research, but it needs to be customized first. I mean, it is very, very important that how we use a generative AI tool like ChatGPT for our research purposes. So it needs to be customized first. There are two steps. I'm going to specifically talk about two steps that we need to do if we are using ChatGPT uh, to aid or help in our qualitative research. So, first is definitely update the memory. Okay, there is a specific way how you can update the memory of your account in ChatGPT. And you can go to the profile settings, then personalization, and then manage memory. And I'll show you how it is done. But I'll show you why is it important also. Before you even start using a tool like ChatGPT to help in qualitative research, you must update your memory. And these are the steps of how you can update the memory. And the second thing is you also need to customize ChatGPT, not use the interface just as it is. Rather, you have to customize it. There is an option in ChatGPT on how you can customize it for a specific purpose. Again, these are the steps of how to do it. From your profile, go to customize ChatGPT, and you need to update three specific fields that are there. One is what do you do? Second is what traits should ChatGPT have? And the third is anything else ChatGPT should know about you. These are the two things that we should do first before even start interacting with an interface like ChatGPT and start asking questions, or upload a document and ask ChatGPT to analyze it in any way. So these are the two things that you should do. I'll quickly show you the interface we are all have used. So is my ChatGPT screen visible?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, so this is usually where we land up when we log into ChatGPT. You can see I'm already logged in here, and this is where we start writing a message or ask a question, or we can upload a document, right? But before we do any of that, as I said, one is memory. So for whatever time that we have been using ChatGPT, for whatever purpose, ChatGPT stores something in its memory about you, so that it can recollect what this person is. So it is able to recollect what I have done previously on the platform. And from those recollections, from those memory that is stored in my account, it is able to now understand what I am looking for, or what I do, or what I have, and then tailor its answers, right? So where do you find it? You go to your profile, which is your picture over here, and you go to settings, right? This is the settings thing. Now in the settings part, you come to personalization, which is the second on the left option. You see personalization, and in the personalization you will see there are custom instructions are on, and there is a memory. And memory is what this is all that ChatGPT has been storing about me. So ChatGPT remembers about me. So there is a manage button. You can see the manage button here. When you click on the manage button, you will see what ChatGPT already knows about me. From whatever activities that I have done on ChatGPT, it knows that I am the owner and operations head of a Bengali news website, which also owns an English news website. It knows about this. So it knows about my career. It knows about my current designation. The ChatGPT also knows that I have a client. The name of the client is Tutor Me. It knows that I am launching a microsite for Durga Puja under a subdomain. It also knows that I am actually interviewing for the position of social media head and audience development for a news website. So this memory is already there in ChatGPT. So now, while it knows of these are the things it knows, and it is stored, uh, every conversation that I am having with this generative AI tool, it is trying to tailor the responses while scanning through this memory. So it is understanding that whatever I'm asking, I'm coming from this background. So it will try to tailor responses as per this background. So if you are a research scholar, or if you are doing any kind of research, even if you are in masters or graduation doing some kind of thesis, if it says it needs to, memory needs to be updated, that you are a student of journalism, or you are a PhD research scholar in journalism, and you are doing research on this topic, your thesis is this. If it knows about that in the memory, automatically the questions that you are going to ask, the tasks that you are going to assign, it is now going to give you a very, very tailored response instead of a very, very generic response. So I can delete these. I can easily delete any of the things that are already there, because I do not want it to remember, and it will just be gone. Now this particular aspect, that I have a client named Tutor Me, it will not keep in mind at all while it is trying to find an answer to my question for all my new texts or all my new instructions. So this is updating memory. Also, there is something called custom instructions. So this is where customizing ChatGPT comes in. And if you can customize ChatGPT, how you customize, you basically tell ChatGPT about yourself, and you also tell ChatGPT about how it should respond to you. So for example, what should ChatGPT call you? I'll say, always call me this. And so if you are a research scholar, or a media science student, or a media science professor, if you say that I am a PhD research scholar in media science, it will remember that, that particular data. It will store that you are a PhD research scholar, right? You are a PhD research scholar. You write that, right? And then it will ask, what traits should ChatGPT have? Now you are a research scholar. Now ChatGPT is asking that how should ChatGPT respond to you? For whatever question you are asking, how should it respond to you? Now, if you are trying to use ChatGPT to aid in your research, you must categorically, explain in very precise words and sentences how you want ChatGPT to respond. It should be very, very clear. So for example, the way I had customized my ChatGPT is this. So this is, I'm just sharing a notepad with you. So what traits should ChatGPT have, how it should respond to me? Now, I'm obviously not a PhD research scholar. I come from a different profile. So this is what I have created for ChatGPT, and this is what I have stored in my custom ChatGPT. So I have clearly said that, how should ChatGPT respond? The response format should be, please provide response in a clear, structured manner with important points summarized at the beginning. That's a very clear instruction I have given ChatGPT. Tone, maintain a professional tone that balances friendliness and formality. Detail level, I appreciate thorough yet succinct explanations. What are the types of suggestions? I am saying offer suggestions for improving digital marketing strategies, providing relevant resources, and highlighting industry trends. Types of questions, ask questions that stimulate strategic thinking and creativity. I'm also asking ChatGPT that for every question that I ask or every task that I'm assigning to you, you should ask a question to me as well. And that question should stimulate strategic thinking and creativity. I have given this specific instruction to ChatGPT. Checks and balances, please verify any marketing statistics on trends you share against reliable. I'm asking it to cross-verify every statistics and trends that it is giving me as a response to any question. Resource, I have given instruction that always cite the sources when referencing industry trend or data. I have specifically given this instruction. Creativity level, problem solving approach, bias awareness. I've said, please avoid favoring one marketing platform or strategy over another without valid reason. I have given this specific set of instructions that ChatGPT will follow when it is structuring an answer for me for whatever I'm asking. It will follow these specific instructions. Anything else ChatGPT should know about you? I have given, again, very, very specific information to the platform so that it is able to tailor its responses exactly like that. So professional role, I've said I'm a digital marketer managing online marketing strategies for a mid-sized tech company. That's a very, very specific information. Current projects, challenges, I'm working on a campaign. Specific interest, I'm passionate about social media. Values and principles, I value transparency. What is my learning style? What is my personal background, my goals, my preferences, my language? Everything I have clearly mentioned. And you will find this entire customization is built in here. What traits should you have? I've given it all this here. Similarly, anything else ChatGPT should know about you, I've given every detail. That is how I have customized ChatGPT to respond, and this is saved in the custom settings. So you will see custom instructions are on and it has memory is on. So every response that ChatGPT gives me is basis these custom instructions that are pre-built. Anyone here that had anyone in this particular session who may have used custom instructions, customizing ChatGPT or memory in order to to use it in a much better manner than we normally use the platform? Anyone has updated the memory in settings, personalization, or given custom instructions before using ChatGPT? Yes, no?
No, sir.
uh, Anyone was aware that we can do this in ChatGPT about this memory and custom instructions, personalization?
No, sir, it was really helpful.
So if you can tailor now, just this is for me. Okay, I've tailored this for me, for myself, because this is what I do. This is what I am. This is what I do. And so every question I ask, it will now filter against all these instructions and give me the response. So it's a very, I would say it's not a very generic response. It's not a very, over the top response. It is very structured. It's very simple and structured. So now, depending on how you are going to use ChatGPT for your research needs, if you can give such specific instructions in the custom instruction, which is within the personalization memory part of your settings, if you can give the specific instructions like this for if you're a PhD research scholar, you're a student, you're a professor, if you're going to give like this, ChatGPT will able to give you much better response. Yes, somebody has, I think, sorry. Yeah. Is there a question? Okay, all right. Sorry. So I had tailored it like this. This is for me. You should, my request to all of you is, you should also tailor it for yourself. When you use this platform specifically for any kind of research needs. I can give you this template if you need. I can share it with all the participants. I'll email it later. I mean, these are specifics. Just follow. You can follow this format. If you can follow this format about response format, tone, detail level, type of suggestions, type of question, checks and balances, resource reference, critical thinking, creativity level, problem solving, bias awareness, and language preference. Follow this exact template and tailor it for your need. Similarly, what do you want ChatGPT to know about you? Just the template is profession role, current projects, challenges, specific interest, values and principles, learning style, personal background, goals, preferences, education background, communication style. If you give all of that and then write one-liners and then put it up in the custom instructions field here, you will get much better results, number one. And you will get much more structured results. Structured analysis, structured response, structured answers. Works?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'll go back to my presentation. So update memory and customize ChatGPT. These are the two things we must do. After that, now once you have done it, how do you use a tool like ChatGPT? Prompt engineering. Anyone aware of prompt engineering in this session? I think must have heard this term, right? Prompt engineering. I'm pretty sure we have heard this term. Can
Yes, sir.
anybody, yes, can anyone give me a sense of what exactly this is? What is prompt engineering? Anything that comes to your mind?
I have done a course, so should I just give the definition?
Yeah, no problem. You can give the definition.
So prompt engineering is using, okay, it's not an exact definition, but it's using words and our vocabulary to get what we want out of ChatGPT, basically.
Yeah, it's simple. That's I think the best and simple way to put it. It's how you construct your words in your instruction that you give to ChatGPT in the chat box. It's as simple. I mean, how the words are given, in what sequence, and exactly that construction of that sentence or construction of that words is into a ChatGPT ChatGPT text box is called a prompt. So everything we type in ChatGPT is actually a prompt. And engineering is how can you make a better prompt so that you get a better response. So once you have updated the memory and you have customized ChatGPT, the next thing is how do you use prompt engineering to get an even better result. So I'll show you certain prompts that can be beneficial, And also, it is important to understand one more specific aspect. It's a bit advanced level, which is the temperature setting. So ChatGPT, a tool like ChatGPT has something called a temperature settings, and it basically plays a role in how it gives the response. And uh, not just for qualitative research, it is used for all purposes. If you want to generate, accurate responses for your prompt, then we need to have an idea about what is this temperature setting. I mean, it's part of prompt engineering. So someone said she has done a course on prompt engineering. Are you aware of prompt temperature setting?
Yes, I am, but I haven't fixed it for anything yet.
Yes, so that is another crucial aspect of how you use that in order to get much more effective response from a tool like ChatGPT. The unfortunate part is that temperature setting is actually not user adjustable in the interface. In the interface that we all use, user cannot exactly adjust a temperature setting. That it's not like set temperature at 60 degrees or set temperature at 100 degrees. It's not like that you can set it. You can influence it. How do you influence the temperature setting? You can influence it on the basis of the prompts that you are giving. So influence response variability by structuring your prompts. That is where the prompt engineering part basically comes in. And so I'm going to just show you certain specific examples, and I will also share that particular document with all of you over email, and I'm pretty sure all of you will get that document. It's about understanding how those different prompts are being written, how we are engineering it, and how temperature settings are different. So I'll again have to go back to okay, I think somewhere here. Yeah. So are you able to see the screen? This is just a notepad, I guess. Yeah. So what kind of prompts that can be very specifically engineered instead of writing a very, a broad based question or a broad task? We need to be very, very specific about how we want to use the prompts in the chat box of ChatGPT. And you're also looking at the certain temperature settings that are there. Now, there are actually 3 temperature settings in ChatGPT. I mean, ChatGPT is programmed to that actually. So there is a temperature 0, there is a temperature 0.5, and there is a temperature 1. So a temperature 0 for ChatGPT means that you are looking for a low creativity and high deterministic answer from ChatGPT. And how does ChatGPT determine that you are looking for a low creativity answer but a high deterministic answer? It is the way you structure your prompt, right? So if your prompt is summarize this interview transcript, so you upload a Word document that has an interview transcript, and you ask ChatGPT, summarize this interview transcript into key themes with minimal interpretation. If you give this instruction for ChatGPT, this is a temperature 0 setting. So you are asking ChatGPT to be very low on creativity and be very high on the deterministic side. You can also ask a question like categorize these responses. Suppose you have a set of responses, you have a large data set, that they can be interview responses, and you have uploaded them in the form of a document in ChatGPT, and you are asking ChatGPT to categorize the responses into predefined codes using the NVivo like thematic analysis. Now that is a very, very, very specific instruction. And for that, ChatGPT will determine it's again a temperature 0 setting. It's a very low creativity and high deterministic answer that I'm looking for. So those are done through prompts. I cannot set temperature equal to 0, give me a response. That doesn't work in ChatGPT. So temperature setting is controlled by how you are structuring your words or your instructions in the chat box. So that is temperature 0. Very, 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 very specific. Temperature 0.5 is a very, very balanced, it's not very low on creativity, or it's not very high on the deterministic side. So examples would be generate follow-up interview questions based on this data. Suppose you have set certain interview questions and for your survey, and you have got certain responses out of maybe a sample of, say, a couple of dozen, and you are now looking to set up certain follow-up interview questions. So you upload that qualitative data in the form of a Word document or whatever into ChatGPT and ask generate follow-up interview questions based on this data. Now that's not a very high deterministic prompt, and you are allowing ChatGPT to use certain levels of creativity as well. So that is a very balanced creativity comes in. So it says 0.5. You can also ask, a theme, a particular prompt like suggest emerging themes from this data set while maintaining accuracy. So that these are just examples, certain examples of how ChatGPT identifies a prompt as a high temperature setting or a low temperature setting, and then it categorizes its response in exactly that manner. Temperature 1 is where you get very, very high creativity, and it's generic, more variable. So you can just offer 3 different ways to interpret this qualitative data set. That's a very, very generic instruction, generic prompt, and it will give you a very, very high creative response also with variability that you will not like. Suggest creative insights or unexpected trends from these responses. If you are writing such kind of a prompt, it's again a very low accuracy, low on the deterministic side, and you're going to get a very creative response from ChatGPT. Most of the prompts that we write, most of the things that we ask, most of the tasks that we assign to a generative AI tool like ChatGPT actually cater to temperature 1. We are mostly engineered to write temperature 1 prompts. So we need to scale it up to a temperature 0.5 or a temperature 0 if you want to get a very, very specific and structured response. So these are the various temperature setups that can be used, and these are certain examples. You can see clearly the difference of how the prompts are structured in temperature 0, 0.5 and 1. I will be sharing this document also, so you have an understanding also of when you are using a tool like ChatGPT and asking for a specific instruction, or giving it a specific instruction or asking a question, you know where your prompt is ranging. Is it at 1? Is it at 0.5? Or is it a 0? There are very certain prompts, for examples for qualitative research. So identify top 5 recurring themes in this text. How do you determine what kind of temperature setting is this? When I ask ChatGPT, identify the top 5 recurring themes in this text. Suppose I have uploaded a text document in ChatGPT and I'm asking this question: identify the top 5 recurring themes in this text. What do you think? Is this a temperature 0? Is it temperature 0.5 or is it temperature 1 prompt?
Is it, sir, temperature 0? Because we are specifically talking about identifying the top 5 recurring themes in this text.
Okay. Is there any other opinion?
It is highly deterministic.
So you also think it's temperature 0?
Yeah, because it is determining.
Any other opinion? Anybody thinks that this is a temperature 0.5 or maybe a temperature 1? If I ask, identify top 5 recurring themes in this text.
Sir,
You
I
all-
think better to go with 0.5 because that time we can also like collect an insight from what the AI thinks apart from just what the data is talking about.
Okay, so you are at 0.5. So you have got 2 zeros and 2 0.5. So more or less. So none of you think this is temperature 1, right? No one thinks that this is a temperature 1 setting prompt. Yeah, so that's absolutely correct. This is not a temperature 1 prompt. And I would say this prompt, because what I'm telling ChatGPT when I'm writing this prompt is accompanied by a document, right? When I say this text means either I have uploaded a document, a Word document, PDF document, or I have may have copy pasted an entire piece of text within the ChatGPT text box. So I have limited ChatGPT's machine to not go beyond the text that has been given, right? When I say in this text means ChatGPT won't go beyond the text that has been given, whether it's
Yes.
a Word document or whether I've copy pasted it in the chat box. So that becomes a very, very specific task for it. So ChatGPT will only look at that text. And I'm saying identify top 5 recurring themes. That means I'm also telling ChatGPT that there has to be at least 5 themes. When I say top 5, that means I'm also saying that there has to be at least 5, right? So again, it becomes a highly specific task for ChatGPT to execute. So identify the top 5 recurring themes in this text is actually a temperature 0 prompt. It is a very, very highly deterministic prompt. I'm actually cutting down on ChatGPT's ability to be creative. I have cut it down completely. So it is actually a temperature 0 prompt. So now what do you think about this one? The second prompt, classify the responses. So I have collected responses from interviews and I've uploaded that document, and I'm saying classify the responses into positive, neutral, and negative sentiment categories. What do you think? Is this temperature 0, temperature 0.5, or temperature 1 prompt?
I think, sir, it falls under the category of temperature 0.5.
It is a 0.
Yeah, 0.5,
0.
sir.
0.5.
I would say it is 0.
Okay, so we have a divided house. So we have some participants are aligned to 0, some are to 0.5. Can you why you need to explain also, right? I mean, why do you think this is a temperature 0? Why do you think this is temperature 0.5?
Because in here, what we are doing, we are giving a command to generate certain things. So whenever I'm looking into that particular factor, classified, so there is a specific generation mode is going on. Through that particular parameter, I'm looking into it.
Okay. So and you think this is 0.5?
Yeah.
Okay. So the house that said temperature 0, can anybody explain why do you think it's temperature 0 prompt? I got, I think, 2 or 3 responses that this is temperature 0.
No, sir. I feel it is we are giving, particularly in categories we are giving, specifically saying this is what we want. So we are not allowing the ChatGPT to be creative. So I feel it is.
Okay. So, so I'm giving 3 categories to ChatGPT, right? I'm saying that all the responses that I have in my document, you read all those responses and you have to classify them into only 3 categories. So there is no 4th category, A, and B, they have to be in any one. So that each of those responses must be classified into either a positive or a neutral or a negative sentiment category. So the task is very specific. If suppose I have 50 responses in my data set, then I have the data set of 50 responses and they are all text responses, and it is now classifying them in three categories. So how it is going to classify them? It's going to read the text, of course. It's going to read the text of each of those responses, and it's going to find certain words in those responses and how those words are structured into sentences. It is going to try to find some contextual relation of why this word is before or after this word, and why is this word is in this sentence. It is going to try and find some contextual understanding also, and then only it will categorize it as a positive sentiment or a neutral sentiment or a negative sentiment. It's going to classify it. So again, this is how can ChatGPT become creative here? Can a tool like ChatGPT become creative when I'm saying there are 50 responses and you classify them under 3 categories? Is there any creativity that it can show? Have I kind of, with the use of this particular prompt, have I completely negated ChatGPT's ability to be creative? If the answer is yes, then this is a temperature 0 prompt. If you think that no, I have left some room for creativity and it's not highly deterministic, then it's temperature 0.5. So it is up for your, again, subjective analysis that whether I have left any room for creativity in this prompt or whether ChatGPT has absolutely nothing to create here from its own. So that is how we can determine if it is temperature 0 or a temperature 0.5. Third is quite similar. The third prompt: analyze the emotional tone of this interview and categorize responses into enthusiastic, quote unquote, concerned, or quote unquote, neutral. When I ask this to ChatGPT after I have given it a document where an interview is there, and I am asking it to analyze the emotional tone into, where the person is enthusiastic, where the person is concerned, and where the person is neutral, I am again limiting ChatGPT's ability to be creative. But in number 4, that's not the case. When I'm saying summarize this 2000 word transcript into a 300 word executive summary, what do you think this prompt is when it comes to temperature setting?
0.
You think this is also 0?
Because we are
This is a
restricting
point.
it
To 2000 word. It can only read those 2000 word and give a 300 word summary.
Yeah. This is, that is my argument.
So I'm limiting both the input, which is 2000 words, and I'm limiting the output, which is 300 words. So hence it is temperature 0. It's very, very specific and deterministic, right?
Yes.
That's the argument. Any other argument? Any other counter argument rather?
So this is a 0.5
Why?
because though we are limiting its this thing, input and output, right?
Mhm.
But there is, to summarize, it still needs to delve into its own repository of words, which includes includes it being creative a little, right? For example, I can say godlike, but to know that godlike also means divine, it has to be a little bit creative to do that in the summary.
Absolutely correct. So I have, even though I have made input and output deterministic in terms of the number of words, right? So I have given it 2000 words to read and understand and analyze. And I have said your response should be in 300 words. So I have fixed that part, but I haven't fixed ChatGPT's ability to be creative. I haven't fixed that. I have only fixed the words, but I haven't fixed that you cannot go to I haven't told how it is going to deliver the 300 words. How, which part it's going to emphasize more, which part it's going to emphasize less, or which are the words it is going to choose. Is it going to choose words that are already there in the 2000 word transcript, or is it going to choose all the words by itself from the vocabulary that it knows from the dictionary that's uploaded in its memory? So that is the fact where it is not being deterministic. So it's a 0.5. But why is it a 0.5 and not 1? Why is it not 1 and 0.5? Okay, we can think. These are. I think I'm just poking too many questions. Uh, I'm going to give you this as a part of the assignment also, where it's good. This is going to be in the assignment actually.
There is a restriction is also here.
Yeah, correct. Yes. So you can.
Sir, I have one
Yeah.
doubt, sir.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah. So, for example, for instance, in the point 4, yeah, in the point 4 where you have mentioned it as a 0.5, summarize this 2000 word transcript into a 3300 word executive summary. So, in one side, it is being mentioned that there is a summarization process is there, but along with that, there is a restriction is there. But when I'm going to add more variables into that particular part, for example, within 300 words executive summary also, within bracket, if I'm going to give more prompts that it should be keeping considering this factor, then it may take it into more of a zero scale, if I'm not wrong.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. And that is going to be the assignment of the class actually. So there are 7 specific prompts that are here, and there are temperature 0, 0.5 and 1 prompts that are here. And we are going to determine which of the 7, the top 7 that are listed, you're going to determine whether it is temperature 0, temperature 0.5 or 1. And how are you going to engineer the prompt? If you think that the first prompt is a temperature 0, how are you going to engineer it? Which means how you are going to rewrite it to make it look like a temperature 0.5 and a temperature 1 prompt. And similarly for all the rest 7. Okay. Now the ones that are already categorized as temperature 0, temperature 0.5 and temperature 1. So you already know that these prompts are in this particular temperature setting of ChatGPT. You're going to also create the 2 other temperature variations for the same prompt. By how do you create it? By rewriting the prompt. Interesting.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So that is about Gen AI tool, which is one of the AI tools that you can use that can really aid in your qualitative research. But of course, as I said, prerequisite number 1, please update the memory of your account, and please customize your GPT. Please give custom instructions. What do you do? What traits should ChatGPT have? And anything else ChatGPT should know about you. Give it specific instructions. Then you start your prompt engineering, and I get a clear sense of the temperature settings and how you are going to use those different temperature settings in order to get the best result out of ChatGPT. Now, how about other tools? I mean, of course, ChatGPT is the Gen AI tool that we are using. How about other, sorry, how about using other tools that can potentially aid or help in qualitative research? So I'm going to talk about 3 broad category of tools that are there and that you can use. One is, of course, processing of information. Processing of information means one is automated transcription. It will be very helpful if I'm basically doing interview of people in as a part of my qualitative research, and those interviews are audio, those interviews can be on video, those interviews can be on even live on Google Meet and Zoom. How do I, if I get a tool that can automatically transcribe the entire interview, and so basically it saves so much time. It from manual transcription, if there is an AI tool that can automate the entire transcription process, it saves a lot of time. Otter.ai, anyone have used Otter.ai, or may have already heard about it? Anyone here who may have heard of Otter?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
so I have heard about this term, but I have never used this.
Yeah, so Otter is one such tool that is used in automation of transcriptions, including an online interview over Google Meet or Zoom or Microsoft Teams. It is easily connected. So I have Otter, and this is Otter. Okay, and so this is the Google Meet, right, that we are on. It started at 5 o'clock, and you see it started recording. It started transcribing the entire session. It started with good evening everyone, it's my pleasure to welcome you all today's session on faculty development on AI. I am Yash. It's not going to give you a very, very absolute accurate, but look at how it has been able to transcribe the entire session as it began. Assistant Professor at Department of Media Studies. I'll be the host. Today's session will proceed as follows. Resource person. This will be followed by a Q&A. You're saying it is able to. It has able to get the entire bit as on the go. This is happening on the go as this session is going on. Otter is able to record and get this entire thing done. It is recording the entire conversation. And it is not just recording, it is giving you the entire text on the go, real time. This is what I started. I have an account, and it is giving you real time. So if you are doing interview with anyone which is online, it can be connected to Google Meet, it can be connected to Zoom, It can be connected to Microsoft Teams. Normally, we use these online platforms to do any kind of online interaction or session. So it is able to do that. So you have got ready-made stuff, and you can just, once this is completed, I will be able to download this entire thing, and I'll just edit certain parts. But more or less, it will get, and the 30 minutes is free. So for 30 minutes, they won't charge anything. If you are looking for a much longer duration of real-time transcription of an interview or a session or a chat, you need to upgrade to a pro version, but 30 minutes is free. So till 30 minutes, you see 29 minutes 56 seconds, it has got entire text thing ready. So this is a fantastic tool for processing, information processing. So it can transcribe interviews on the go, real time. So you can create an account in otter.ai, otter.ai, and you can connect it to your Gmail, and any meeting you get into with using Google Meet, you can just pull that Google Meet link and it will record 30 minutes for free. If you want more, you need to upgrade the account, and you can get 1 hour interview, 2 hour session. Everything is completely in text transcribe, real time. Like that moment the session ends, you have the entire thing ready in the form of a text. Saves time, lot of time. Yes, no, useful, not useful?
Very useful, sir.
Sentiment analysis. Anyone been using any kind of a tool that does sentiment analysis, where AI can actually process large volumes of text, social media comments, interviews, reviews? I mean, text it's able to process and categorize it into sentiments: positive, neutral, negative. Anyone has used any such sentiment analysis tool, which is, I think, very useful in qualitative research? So this is a bit so one such tool is Google's own. It's called Google Cloud Natural Language. This tool is here. I can just search. I'll just ping it in the yeah. So it's Cloud Google Natural Language. This is one tool where which can be used, and you can basically type a text here, and or it's a API based system. You can ask your if you have any tech person in your university campus to set it up for you, and so you can copy and paste text in this particular field, and you can ask it to analyze, and it's going to analyze the text in terms of entities, in terms of entities, sentiment, categories, and moderation. So it's going to do that. What is price, number, address, location. So these are how it is categorizing text into entities, and it is also doing sentiment analysis. So green is where you have basically the positive sentiment. Yellow is the neutral sentiment, and red is the negative sentiment. So you can see the score of this particular just two sentences. So there are two sentences are categorized as the score is given. So there are two in the positive bracket and one in the neutral bracket, and Google gives a score where it gives that within a 0.25 and 1 it's a positive sentiment, and between minus 0.25 to plus 0.25 is neutral, while anything less than minus 0.25 is a negative sentiment. So it is able to derive that. You can text your own. There are moderation and categories also where it has chosen, but I think these are the tools that are important: sentiment and entities. And this is one tool where which you can get sentiment analysis. You can type in other. Let me see if I can get something out of here. If I just copy this thing and paste it in here, if it is able to reset it, and I give in certain text and asking to analyze it. So is it going to give entities? Yes, it is giving me entities. And is it giving sentiment? Oh, everything is neutral. So yeah. So this is a tool for sentiment analysis. Of course, there is one more tool, but it will require again help of somebody in the tech side, because it is Python based tool. It's called TextBlob, and it does text processing and gives sentiment analysis as well as a lot of other things like part of speech tagging, noun phrase extraction. It does a lot of things, but you will need somebody on your IT side to set it up for you in your particular laptop or desktop, whatever you're using. And it is something that MIT, it comes with an MIT license. So it has passed through Massachusetts Institute of Technology. So it has an MIT license. So this is a pretty safe also tool, and they keep updating it. So this is one that you can use, but it's Python based. So you have to basically install and download it. So here you can see the MIT license is here, and this tool can only be done after you have Python based tool. So once that is installed and you know exactly what kind of instructions to give it along with a document, then you will get a response at TextBlob. So this is also a tool that is used for sentiment analysis, but this is a bit advanced level. So if you have knowledge of Python, or you know someone who can set it up for you, then it's going to be useful for you. So these are the ones for sorry, for information processing. What about information interpretation? When we are trying to interpret information, there are tools. Of course, there are thematic analysis. I think that is a very, very important part of any kind of qualitative research. And there are tools like NVivo and Atlas, where you can actually upload a lot of document, and they are going to identify recurring themes, patterns, keywords across a huge set of qualitative data, and they will do it in minutes, for you. But these are, of course, anyone heard of these tools or are exposed to NVivo and Atlas? This is NVivo.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you're using it?
I'm not using it, but I have learned it.
Yeah. So, of course, this is probably the best, two of the very best that are available in Vivo and Atlas. But of course, there are limitations. You need to go for paid versions. But I mean, if you are looking for quantitative data analysis at a different level, then these are the tools. These are the two that I would definitely recommend. I don't have paid versions of these tools, so I will not be able to show you exactly what you have, but you can just go check these products and see what kind of different things that you can do. What are the different, what are the different executions that can be carried out for your qualitative research. They have very different variations, more models also. So that can enable you to find many different patterns in the same data set, which probably even uh, a generative AI tool like ChatGPT would fail. But these guys, they are specifically designed for qualitative data analysis. So NVivo is very specific to qualitative data analysis, and this is of course an AI tool. And same is Atlas. Atlas is also a similar kind of a tool that does research projects, and it also does qualitative analysis. You can try this for free. You in the Atlas allows a user to create a free account, and it will give you access to all the different things that are available within Atlas that can potentially aid in any kind of qualitative data analysis. And you can use them for a period of, I think, 5 days. Within a 20-day period, they won't charge you anything. After 20 days, they will ask if you want to continue or not, and you can pay. So you can see try for free. You will be able to try for free trial, and you need to download it in your system, in your desktop, laptop, or if you have a Mac, in your Mac. So Harvard University, of course, is the premium that uses it among all the leading organizations. So Harvard uses Atlas for the university research work. You can see it's already listed here. So this is for interpretation of qualitative data set. If you're looking for tools that can analyze and interpret qualitative data sets, then Atlas and NVivo are the two. But of course, NVivo you have to pay for, and Atlas only free for 5 days, and then you'll have to take a subscription for this tool. So that's the other one. Data interpretation, visual and audio analysis. So of course, when you are doing qualitative research, there is also a lot of images and videos that are part of the research, right? I mean, we always use a lot of images and videos in order to that aids or is a part of my qualitative research. Sometimes it can be interviews, or it can just be you're documenting a particular environment, or you're documenting a particular human, or you're documenting a particular group or a community within a particular environment. So all of that is sometimes done using photographs and videos that are part of the qualitative research. Analysis of those images and videos is also possible, and that is also done using certain AI tools. So Google has one, of course, and they can also even look at television advertising, YouTube videos, social media posts and videos, and analyze them as well. But again, these are all it's not for use for a lay person, so you require certain kind of tech help, like the Google Vision AI. So this is Vision AI. It's again in Google Cloud, and it can extract what Google Vision AI can do is very interesting. Actually, it can actually extract insights from images and videos. I mean, this is very specific AI that has been trained to extract insights from images and videos. So, but again, this is also something that needs to be installed, and it comes paid. Even though I'm giving this, yeah, I think this is the Vision AI. This is Google's Vision AI that is able to extract analysis and insights from images and documents. There is a video here in the link. You can see how exactly it works. I mean, how the Vision AI, computer vision works and how it is able to analyze photographs and videos. And this is one such tool that's used to get analysis and insights from photographs and videos also. Quickly. Okay. And of course, speed. We all know why speed and scalability. So each of these tools that I've mentioned, whether it is Otter, whether it is Google Natural Cloud Language, whether it is NVivo Atlas, Text Blob, I mean, all these tools for various purposes, but it's the speed and the amount of data set that they are able to they are able to analyze in very, very, very quick time. So it basically, I mean, when we are doing any kind of research, I mean, the amount of qualitative data that we are able to collect, even, we are using a Google form to collect responses. I mean, I think I have known many research scholars who use Google forms to collect responses. They get collected into a Excel sheet. You can transport that to an Excel sheet and you get those responses there. But after that, I mean, what to do after you get that Excel sheet? Then, if you are collecting data that has, 50, 100, 200 sample size, and you are trying to do qualitative analysis of that response, and that is where such AI tools can also come in. So speed and scalability is, of course, one of the key reasons, I would say, why AI tools can help in any kind of qualitative research that we are doing. I think that's all that I have in the presentation. So, okay.